You're listening to Papel Podcast, the number one place for everything Pangya. And now your host, Michael Pierce.
Hello everybody, welcome to Papel Podcast episode 48. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the next patch and when that might be coming. We're also going to feature a new segment on the podcast called Story Time. With Story Time, I'll discuss a few stories from my past based around Pangya. As you guys know, I've been playing Pangya for over 13 years now, and I've got a lot of stories and lots of memories to go over, so I feel like story time will be quite fun for a lot of people. I hope you guys like it. I actually kind of took the idea from Leia's GM events recently, where she's been discussing some of her stories from her past that involved Pangya. So thank you, Leia. Keep up the amazing GM events. I always look forward to them, and Dawn, I always look forward to your GM events too. So with all that, let's begin. So as you guys all know, it's been about 2 months since we had the last patch on Pangya Celebrity. That's made a lot of people question when the next patch is coming. So for a few weeks now, GM Leia obviously has come out and said that she's working on the patch. It's come across a few issues and a bit of delays because of those issues. So some of those issues involve items not working correctly, and mainly it has to do with the code for the new event she's trying to do. Now all of these things are very, very normal. They happen all the time in development and has happened a bunch of times in the past. Delays happen, and these things take a lot of time to get working correctly. Making custom content takes an incredibly long time too, so we kind of just have to be patient with this stuff. I've seen a few people around Celebrity actually say that they kind of want to quit the game because of how long it's been since the last patch, and personally, I feel like that might be a bit of an overreaction because it's only been 2 months, and I know 2 months is a long time, but delays happen all the time, and nothing's stopping anyone from playing the game as it is. Even if the new patch came out tomorrow, it wouldn't change the actual fundamentals of Pangya, so you wouldn't really be losing anything if a new patch doesn't come out instantly. The only thing you really gain from a new patch is a bit of an excitement around the community, because there's new items and maybe even new events sometimes. So obviously those give you reasons to play the game, but you shouldn't really play just because a patch comes out. You should be playing all the time because you enjoy the gameplay. So I don't know if it's just me, this is just kind of my personal view, but I find it a bit odd that people would want to leave the game just because a patch hasn't come out for a while. Now last week, GM Leia did come out and state that the patch is obviously continuing development, and it should be quote-unquote coming soon. So it shouldn't be too much longer till the patch releases. I thought it would maybe come out in a week, which is basically today, but it looks like it might not make it till next week or possibly even the week after. The best thing we can really do is just keep patient and have trust that Leia will release the update when it's ready and when it works. There's no point releasing a patch where it doesn't work or things just aren't quite right. I can understand the frustration of waiting for a patch, so I kind of sympathize with the people in the community who are anxiously waiting for this patch to get released. Obviously they want more reasons to play the game, and that's fantastic, but you have to also realize that this is a private server. This server is run by mostly Leia herself. There's a few people who pitch in here and there, but when it comes down to it at the end of the day, it's Leia running the server. It's Leia who ends up making the patch and putting it all in the game, so it's a lot of work for one person. And if you compare it to teams like Pangya Japan and Pangya Thailand, they have a team of over 30 people. Like, Japan has 38 people developing and making new content at once, and that's how they get patches out every 2 weeks to a month, and it's a lot of work. I just think it's a bit unfair to put so much pressure on Leia. On the plus side, when the patch does come out, I can verify that it's going to be a really great patch. I've seen a lot of the content that's coming to the patch, and because it's been so long since the last patch, a lot of it kind of merged all together into one big update. Just last week we posted a teaser video for a brand new club set that's going to come out soon. And as far as I know, this will be released in the next patch as well. The video was titled the Inferno club set, so that should give you a good idea of the theme of the club set. I can't really share too many details about the club set because I do want it to be a bit of a surprise, but it's a very neat club set. It's something I haven't really designed before. It's a lot darker themed and it really suits the direction that we're taking these patches in the next update. You'll notice a lot of things are more darker, the background is Deep Inferno this time, the mascots are themed after Ice Inferno, and obviously the club set that I just mentioned is themed after an Inferno theme. So it should be really fun. I love the theme because my favorite memory of Pangya and my favorite season of all time is Season 3, where everything was dark and kind of eerie and creepy, so I'm really excited for the next patch, and I hope you guys are too. It shouldn't be too much longer, so please be patient. Would you look at that? It's story time! So to kick off story time, I'm going to go into some cringe territory, as most of my stories probably will be, because a lot of them are from when I was like 7 years old, when I just started playing Pangya. This story in particular is from Season 3 on Albatross 18, so I would have been maybe 9 or 10 years old, around that age, which is kind of crazy. And as I said before in the past, Season 3 was my favorite season of all time. Season 2 was great, and I really liked it, but Season 3 just had something so different and so vast about it, and I don't think I'll forget it. So let's get into the story. So right about the time Season 3 came out in Korea, my friend and I from school were getting ready to have Season 3 on Albatross 18 because there was a beta coming up, and I remember there was a closed beta and an open beta. We sadly didn't make it into the closed beta because it was kind of a thing where you would enter your login details and they would randomly pick around like 3,000 people, and those accounts could log in during those hours, but sadly we didn't get to do that. But because we were so excited and we've seen so much from the Korean version, we've heard so many stories, we did some pretty crazy and, of course, cringy things. Now, I won't name my friend, but I'm sure my friend will know who he is. We were so young and we're still friends today, so it's kind of crazy, but essentially on the playground at school, all the time we would be talking about Season 3. And of course with Season 3, if you guys remember, Kaz came out for the first time, and he was just the coolest character in Pangya. He was so dark, he had this amazing sword and this creepy dead wife, and we would make up so many different stories and scenarios covering his backstory and why Karen's dead. I remember we made a story up saying that Karen had to sacrifice herself by jumping into a volcano and dying, and I'm pretty sure in the PSP version she actually did have to sacrifice herself, and that's why she follows Kaz, but I don't think she jumped into a volcano to die. I think we took that a bit far. I remember one move that Kaz does on his eagle animation with his sword. He swings it up left to right, swings in a circle, jumps up, and then stabs it down into the ground with one hand. And this move I recreated so many times as a kid. I would be in the playground and I would just grab a stick or anything I could hold and do that move across the playground, and it was so bad and so horrible, but it was so much fun, and it just made me even more excited for Season 3. Now, I'm sure as you can tell already, we were pretty weird kids and we had a lot of, let's say, imagination. And we made so many stories up in our heads, and one of the stories I always remember is we actually thought that somehow Kaz was either our father or some sort of relative from an alternate timeline in a previous life. I don't even know how that works or why we thought this, but we did, and we thought we had like some sort of special mental connection to Kaz, and I don't even know, like, we were clearly too obsessed with Pangya, and I still am, and it's a big problem, but I don't know why that was a thing, and looking back at it now, it's so cringy, and it really hurts me, but but I'm so glad that we were so enthusiastic for Season 3, because it really did turn out to be one of my favorite seasons, and it built so many memories, and it had so many establishing modes and items, and I think it really is the best upgrade to Pangya that ever came. And I remember down the line, this was with a different friend, but when Pangya PSP came out, I think it was 3 years after Season 3, there was lots of stories that would make up too about Cyan, and like, how Cyan is kind of Kaz's sister, but I don't even know if that's official. I don't think she's the sister. I know she's a dragon that can turn into a human. She has a human form and a dragon form, and she can kind of switch between these two. So we would always question, is the dragon that Kaz rides in the animation with his motion item, is that the same dragon as Cyan in a dragon form? I honestly don't know. I don't think Nitri's officially confirmed anything, but I thought that was always cool, and there's always been this drawn to this season and this dark theme of Pangya, so I thought I would share that. I know it's super cringy, but did you guys do anything crazy as a kid about Pangya? Did you ever play Pangya in your playground as a kid? Because we would always do that. We would find a stick or something and try to play Pangya on our own in our imaginations, and it's so bad, but it's so good and I love it. So that's the story how Kaz was my father as a kid. So that's episode 48. I hope you guys enjoyed the new segment, and I hope you enjoyed my opinions on the upcoming patch. As always, if any update or news comes out, this will be the #1 place to get it. So thank you for joining me again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!